Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I want to know who's on this call as y'all are coming in. Go ahead and drop those locations for me. Who is on this call? I am Loso from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Where y'all from? Oklahoma. I see my guy Alexis in the house. Cali. Washington, D.C. What up? New Jersey. Yo. I see Black Squad in the building. Pathology Black Squad in the building. Detroit. Virginia. Man, AP is going worldwide. I love it. Florida. Switzerland, Canada. Yo, man. Yo, thank you. Everybody that's in the house, man, keep it going, man. If y'all are excited about GearBox, man, please drop a 777 if y'all are excited about GearBox. That's what we're here to talk about today, man. Drop those sevens in the chat. I want to see some love, man, because I've been beta testing this thing, and boy, I'm excited, man. Y'all know how I move. Y'all know how I talk, man. So forgive me if I take too much time in the beginning of this call, but I got to really kind of bring y'all up to speed on why I get so like motivated and like extra and hype. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to kick this thing off. A little bit about myself. I've been trading for about 12 years. My name is Loso6 on IG. That's my go by if you guys ever want to follow me on IG. That being said, man, I've been trading for a long time. And during that time of trading, like one thing that I noticed is there was no such thing as a community where you can actually trade with other people, bounce ideas off of other people, have a chat group where you can actually talk to teams and things of that sort, and also having weekly calls to plug into to make sure you understand how you trade different techniques, strategies, EAs, etc. I didn't have that kind of support. The kind of support I had was, it's going to cost a lot of money to get mentorship for me to understand what these squiggly lines were doing. Okay, so I invested a lot of time and money and to try to understand how to trade, right? And then AP comes along. Okay, it changed my entire perspective on how you trade Forex by using expert advisors, having a group of people to help you. If y'all caught what I just said, trade together, win together, and grow together. That right there was priceless. And it comes at a fraction of the cost. Today, what we're talking about is a product that myself and a ton of other people have been beta testing. You're going to get testimonials on this call. You're going to get to see my FX book on this call, which y'all know what that means. That's your middle broker saying, yo, this account is verified and these results are real. Okay. For the newbies on the call, they didn't understand what my FX books were. Okay. And then on top of that, you get to talk to the actual developer that brought all this to life. All right. Take this time to listen. Bring a pen and pad. Have your iPads out, your notes on your phone. Make sure that you are taking constant notes because this individual is the lead of the task force. He is the guy that made this EA and helped the others get the ones you use right now, variable, on board. Okay. So please pay attention to what we're about to bless y'all with. All right, I'm gonna cover a couple things before we go into the actual call of Tyler getting in this thing. But GearBox, there's a beta group right now with a ton of us that are in it. A few of those guys are on this call that will be giving a couple of testimonials on their experience with GearBox. Okay, this product has 26 strategies alone. If y'all seen my post earlier today on IG, you know what I'm talking about. We're talking sniper entry strategies. Entry is key in Forex. If you miss your entry, that is literally a gap of money that you can be missing out on. Past performance does not predict future profit, but I will tell you this much. The testimonies you're going to hear today are going to blow your mind. The type of strategies that this man has created within this environment are out this world, okay? This is not hype. This is pure excitement because I'm getting results from the products myself. If you can tell, I haven't shaved in weeks because AP got me testing variable, GearBox, and many other indicators and expert advisors that are coming out. We are not done, y'all. When I tell you, this is changing the entire game on how you trade and how you diversify your portfolios. Make sure you understand what diversification is. I can give you a synopsis really, really quickly. It's basically saying, hell, this lose, this one winning. The whole goal in Forex is to win more than you lose. So do not put all your eggs in one basket. That's the first thing I was taught by my mentor, was to understand that when you are trading, you need to ensure that you know how to diversify, because one pair may not agree with your strategy. Guess what? We got 4 indicators, and I guarantee you a few others will. With that being said, man, I want to make sure my guy Tyler is on. Can you hear me, Tyler?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, man. I wanted to make sure you're on the call, man, ready to give these people what they want. You know what I mean? I'm excited, man. I know you're excited. This man right here has been putting in hours, hundreds of hours a week trying to get this ready for the field. Okay? I've been beta testing it, man. And bro, thank you. I'm going to say it every single call. Thank you. You have changed my perspective. I hated EAs, man. When you met me, you know I didn't like EAs, bro. But now I'm like, that's all I trade with. Like, I use multiple monitors. I do all of that to make sure that I'm trading. I'm diversified on how I bring my pips to my household. All right. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to pass the mic to my guy, Tyler, man. Please bless the community with what you have to offer on GearBox, bro. Over to you.
Absolutely. And I just want to let everyone know this is going to be one of our best calls we've had yet. So if you have people that you want on this call, make sure you go and send them the link right now. This is going to be one of our best calls yet. I have a lot in store for all of you on A to Z and what GearBox is if you're a beginner. And then near the end, we're going to get into a lot more advanced training, Q&A after some of the testimonials and the results. But to start off, I want to go ahead and I'm going to set the tone, and we're going to get right into the risk disclosure, as this is very important. So the first thing you need to understand is that trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin and utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that could lead to a complete loss of any investment funds. Before deciding to trade in the foreign exchange market or use any of our software or alerts products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and your risk tolerance. There is a possibility you could potentially sustain a significant loss. You should not invest or trade any capital you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading. And please seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime LLC does not exercise trading authority over your trade. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every single trade. And if you are sharing any results from GearBox, please note they are only designated in Facebook groups. Please do not use the term company recommended settings. The company does not have any recommended settings. Auvoria Prime is not a financial advisory firm. Auvoria Prime licenses software that users can use however they want at their own risk and discretion. GearBox does not come with out-of-the-box settings upon initial setup. Customers have the ability to customize their settings however they do want. And Auvoria Prime has nothing to do with a customer's broker account. We do not solicit or take investments, and no brokers are recommended. Again, Auvoria Prime just licenses software, and we sell amazing education that users can learn and potentially benefit from. Any settings that I share are the developer settings and not company recommended settings. This call is for educational purposes only. So now that we've covered all of that, let's get into the nitty gritty. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to get first real quick into exactly what the GearBox software strategy is about. I'm going to take a quick 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to actually get into sharing accounts with you. And I'm not just going to share my own accounts. Right now, I have actually pulled up my FX books from many of our beta testers, and I'm talking about accounts from $500, $250, all the way to an account you're going to see today that has $100,000 in it running GearBox Live. So with that being said, we're covering all the bases, and we're going to show you exactly what this product is and why it is designed for truthfully any account balance and size. So to get started, let me get right into the software strategy. Just let me know you guys can all see my screen. You see that it says GearBox software strategy. I just want to make sure we are sharing the right screen. If you can see that, go ahead and let me know in the chat box. Awesome. I see that you all see it. So the first thing is this is a grid-based strategy. Now, the thing with most grid-based or cost averaging strategies is they give you PTSD, they give you nightmares, you can't sleep well at night, you're worried about crazy drawdown because they normally enter pretty randomly and their goal is just to kind of catch reversals. Now, with this grid-based strategy, using different data, we're actually able to skip into the trade. So what I mean by this is you could say, hey, I don't want to enter until a level 5 trade, meaning that you could wait for a currency pair to have a 207 pip move with no retracement before you actually even enter your first trade into the market, meaning you're skipping all of these potentially losing trades, which would be viewed as drawdown. So again, the strategy can be different based on settings, but it is a counter trend trader, but you are ghost trading the trend, which I'll explain what ghost trades are in a minute if you're brand new. And that's typically where you would have gotten into drawdown, say a level 0, level 1, level 2. This you can ghost trade. So trade it behind the scenes, not in your account, but in a notepad. The software will trade it, and you can enter wherever you want to enter into a trade and skip the drawdown and typically enter into trades in the real market right before that pullback or retracement occurs. So you may be asking which currency pairs can be used. And GearBox can work on any currency pair, truthfully, with the proper settings. Now, we do have historical data and gear entry choices on the 24 pairs or 25 pairs to the right. The green 7 pairs are the Forex major pairs, and of course, are great options. As you know, we are in election week right now. So some people might totally eliminate trading the actual majors and the USD pairs just for this week, or they may test them on some of my very conservative strategies, such as the super sniper, which we'll explain a little later in this call. But again, due to GearBox design, any currency pair can work if you understand the average range that it typically moves before a retracement. So if you ever understand the average true range and look at historical data, see how far typically something moves before it has a pullback, and you study that data, you could actually truthfully get GearBox to work on indices, metals, really anything. It's extremely customizable. But again, we've focused in all of our testing heavily on the minors and the majors here. Now, you might be asking, can this software be used with multiple pairs? And the answer is yes. The strategies that I'm sharing with you today are actually scanning all of the currency pairs. We have data on all the majors and minors. All right, so there's 24, 25 pairs. We're actually going to scan all of them for proper entries, but we have put a risk setting in place in GearBox where you have max pairs trading at once. So even though we're scanning all 24 currency pairs for great entries, let's say 6 of those currency pairs said, okay, we have an entry. It's not going to take it on all 6 if your risk setting is allow 1 max pair to trade, 2 max pairs to trade, 3 max pairs to trade. So you can actually limit how many pairs you're trading, but still scan all of them for proper entries. And then once one trade closes and you now have an available space for a new currency pair to enter, GearBox will go ahead and alert of that entry, or if using the international version, it'll enter based on your settings. And it's very simple. We have those risk settings, but yes, you can scan all 24, 25 currency pairs you want to. There are the majors and minors. And you might say, well, what is the goal of the software? The truth is this software's goal is to catch a solid amount of pips on every trade with low lot exposure on the total account. When I show you some of these MyFX books today, you're going to see that the software actually does not trade a lot of lots. It is very low lot exposure, but its average amount of pips that it catches is typically very high in comparison to a lot of expert advisors on the market, because it is truthfully looking for larger moves in the market. And I would consider GearBox to trade with a more institutional strategy rather than a traditional retail strategy. It's tending to get into trades that take a few days to play out, sometimes even a week, week and a half, 2 weeks to play out. It's taking longer positions, but it's also securing larger moves. Now, again, how long should this software be used per week? I know many people are used to different softwares that perform best Monday to Wednesday, or perform best, during trending markets and not during ranging, or they might perform better in ranging and not trending. The truth is GearBox can perform in any market based on your entry settings. If you're ever in a volatile week where you might question, hey, do I want to trade? Limit your max pairs trading and increase your entries on the pairs you're scanning to where it has to be a very precise trade to even get into a trade, right? So you're not just randomly trading during times like that. You're actually setting proper risk and making it to where you're getting into a more precise trade. So again, it's all end user choice, but truthfully with the strategies shared and the ideas, you should be able to trade through most major historical events that have occurred and reoccurring based on data. Now, what time frame is best to use? That's going to be your daily time frame. Daily is always going to be the most accurate. You're going to want to make sure that you are trading with accuracy, and daily is always going to be looking for a much more solid confirmation than some of the lower time frames. And the software can be turned on 2 hours after market open. It'll automatically do that, which is typically when the spreads get lower. And it can, again, be turned off by user at their discretion, but it can run and analyze 24/5 with proper settings. And what trading sessions are best for optimum performance. Truth is, again, all sessions are good, but where I notice it makes most of its profit is actually during the London session. Now, that's not when the trades enter. It often enters trades before then, but that's typically when I see a lot of trades hit their take profit and meet their profit targets is during those late night London sessions. I wake up to a lot of trades typically in floating profit or typically closed out in profit. So it'll tend to find its best entries and execute or exit the market during those times. And minimum balance for best results, 250 can work. Just understand there's a risk to using such little equity with any software. 500 is better. And really, when using any form of cost averaging strategy or any trade strategy like this, you should have $1,000 or more. It's typically ideal. But historically, I'm going to show you data and I'm going to show you results from testers that have my FX books running $250 accounts, $500 accounts. And even as I mentioned, some accounts as large as $100,000. Now, I set these drawdown targets much higher. Really, when I first made this presentation as ideal, as you look at historical data in some of these MyFX books, you'll see many people aren't hitting anything close to this. But again, on a $250 to $500 account, yes, the max you would ever really want to see yourself and probably be able to stomach is 50%. On 1,000, the max you'd probably want to see is 30. And on a larger account, really 15% is probably the max, ideally comfort level wise, anyone would want to see on any EA they're using. But as I covered here with conservative enough settings, 5 to 10% is very realistic for larger accounts. And we're gonna go ahead and share that data with you guys today. And then again, what days is it best? Every day the Forex markets are open. You can hold trades over the weekend. You can do it however. Now, I want to get into the software. I want to show you a little bit about it because I know a lot of people are having questions, right? What is it? What's exactly doing? What is a ghost trade? How does this exactly work? Now, the first thing I want to actually cover, believe it or not, because I want to show this to you guys, is who wants to actually see in under 5 minutes right now, me set up a GearBox, right? Because we've all set up EAs. It's taken you tons of time. It's super hard, right? I want to show you guys in real time, me actually go ahead and set up a GearBox right now. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to chart all my windows here. I have already inserted, I'm going to show you guys right now, drag this over to the screen. All right, I have already inserted all the currency pairs in my market watch window. So if you were brand new, you would have to hit hide all on these once you logged in and then type in all of these. I've already got them all open. So I'm just going to go through and hit chart window on every single one. And I see somebody said, you can't set this thing up in 5 minutes. And I'm going to show them right now how we're going to set it up in 5 minutes, because I want you all to see that setting up GearBox is actually one of the easiest setups I've ever done with any expert advisor. And that's by design, because I wanted to make this super simple for anybody. I wanted to make it to where, you know, anyone can come in and set this thing up. So if you're brand new and you've never even set up an expert advisor before, what I'm doing right now is I'm actually opening up the currency pair, all right, for every single, or the chart for every single currency pair that I want GearBox to trade. The ones I showed you right here to the left, the 25 majors, minors. I'm going to go ahead and just open every single one of them up. And once I have all of these charts open, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to take them all right here, and I'm going to put them like this so we can organize them. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to put it on every single one of these on the daily time frame. And I see somebody in the chat box here, Tomislav said NZD CAD is missing. The broker I am trading on does not have NZD CAD. So I'm only trading 24 of the 25 we have data on. If your broker offers that pair, then you can also trade that one as well. But my broker does not seem to have NZD CAD. So we're just going to go ahead and skip that one. But all I have to do now is switch every one of these to the daily time frame, as I covered. We want to be on the daily time frame to have the most accuracy and the most precision. And then once all of them are on the daily time frame, you're going to see how quickly we can actually put this and set this up, right? You're thinking we have to drag GearBox in every single one of these 24 charts and click all these boxes. And nope, that's not the case. I'm going to show you exactly how simple this all can be. And I hope one of you has been timing me, right? Because I know I got challenged by Matt here to set this thing up in under 5 minutes. So now I'm going to open a random chart we're not going to run GearBox on. You see, I just opened gold. I'm not putting GearBox on gold, but I am going to use this chart in a minute. First, I need to go ahead and put GearBox MAV on a chart. I'm going to go ahead and click these boxes. I'm going to hit OK to the default input, which is the normal sniper strategy. As you should see, mine should typically auto-validate here once it pulls up, as I did already verify my Auvoria Prime license. We'll give it a minute to pull up here. It's saying it cannot set the timer. That's not tending to be good here. That means that my VPS for some reason is going slower than usual. So I'm not sure why it is doing that today. There we go. The timer has been set. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go back to this gold chart I had opened. I have one GearBox open, and now I'm going to load up GearBox open. All right, so I loaded up the GearBox loader. We have the GearBox loader here. We're going to check these boxes as well, and I'm going to hit OK. And then what GearBox loader is going to do is it's actually going to load up a UI right here, which we should see come up in a minute. And it's going to allow me to select my software strategy. And then it's going to actually load that software strategy onto every single chart. We see it's also trying to set the millisecond timer here. VPS is going a little slower than normal today. So we're going to give it a minute until it sets this and the UI shows up. Sometimes you might experience this. I don't know why. It depends on if your VPS is being slower or not. Sometimes I should reset your VPS. It seems right now it's having an issue pulling up the UI. So we'll go ahead and we'll actually come back to this in a minute once the UI shows up, because it's seeming that it is not wanting to pull up for us right now, which I don't know why it's doing that to us, as we're only running one instance. But we'll go ahead and get up. There we go. The loader has worked. So again, sometimes it might take a minute. If you go to your experts tab and you don't see it showing up and it's saying can't set the timer, your VPS is just running a little under speed there, if you see that happen. But now that we see the strategy loaders here, I'm actually going to just choose my strategy based on my balance. So you may see that there are different strategies. For $250 balance, you have Super Sniper. And somebody said how to change if you choose the wrong strategy. If I hit use this strategy and then I want to change, I can just hit use this strategy and it'll update it. So you can just re-hit the button and it'll apply the correct one if you choose the wrong one by accident. But the different strategies you see, you have a double take profit or a ghost plus real. What this means is if you were ghost trading in the ghost market, which if you still don't know what that means, I'm going to show you in a minute. It's going to calculate your take profit based on if you were in all the trades that you traded behind the scenes, as well as if you needed to make enough profit to get out of them. If you're trading with double take profit, it's actually going to go for less profit than Ghost plus Real. So Ghost plus Real goes for larger take profits. Double take profit is going to be actually less because it's looking to make the take profit of the trade you take it would normally make without any initial other trades it has to calculate, and then it's doubling it. So Ghost plus Real, like I said, is going to secure more profit. Double TP is going to get in and out of trades sooner and secure less profit. And then you have Super Snipers waiting for very precision entries, and 250 balance only allows one max pair trading. So you may scan all 24, but you're only going to trade one. Sniper, it's going to go ahead and 500 is going to trade two balances. All right, or two pairs. Even though you're scanning 24, it can trade two at once. 1,000 is going to be able to scan three at once, and you have Swing and Sniper here. Swing is getting into the trade sooner than Sniper. Swing is entering earlier into a trade. Now, for me, I tend to like Sniper, Ghost plus Real. So I'm just going to click Use this strategy. And then what you should see happen here is it's actually going to start applying GearBox to every single one of these charts. So we'll give it a minute, and you can see it's starting to do that and load them all in. and we're going to let it do that right now in real time to all these charts. But that's how it's going to do it. You can see it's trying to apply them, and we'll let it do its thing here. Now I'm going to go into the actual results. Yeah, the VPS, I don't know why some of these are being slower than normal when setting it up. We're actually looking into this with our VPS provider. What you will notice is GearBox does actually use a lot of CPU use. You can see it's slowly starting to apply it to all the charts. It applied it to UDCHF. So it's going to go ahead and take its time. It's starting to apply it to every single chart. Just be patient with it. It is doing a lot behind the scenes, but we are going and talking to our VPS providers about increasing resources for GearBox. So as we get there, we'll alert of anything, but it does work. Just give it some time. As you see, it will apply GearBox to every chart for you with the right settings. You can see it's speeding up right now in real time on this one and starting to apply to every single chart. So yeah, it's very quick to do. And like I said, you can do it under 5 minutes. If you run into the slower VPS issue, it might take you 7. But as you see, it has just started applying GearBox to every single chart here. And in real time, GearBox is now set up. The only other thing you'll need to go ahead and do is adjust your lot size per every single trade you want. And yes, I dragged the EA GearBox onto the first chart and set it up before doing the GearBox loader. The reason for that is you want to validate yourself with Auvoria Prime first. I auto-validated, so we didn't just do validation on the setup. But if you're a first-time user setting it up, you do want to drag normal GearBox onto the first chart, and then you're going to hit OK, validate with Auvoria Prime your license, and then use GearBox Loader to load the rest. Now that we did a GearBox setup and it's continuing to apply it to the rest of these charts, we're going to go ahead and just let it do its thing and continue applying. And we're actually going to get into some software results. I want to show you guys some actual results of testers. So I'm going to show you some of my own accounts before I even show you my own accounts, because of course I'm getting results. I created the software. I know how to use it the best. But let's see about other people in our community that have been extensively beta testing this thing for months and have gone through all the trial and error with us, all the updates and the results they've seen on their MyFX books and their accounts in that time. So the first one I want to start off with is this is actually one of our testers in the community. And he's running a $250 Super Sniper account. And you can see he started October 1st. And you can see it's updated. And it right now in a month almost made enough money running one max pair trading. It almost made enough to actually cover, a license subscription on such a small balance. Now, I'm not telling you that a $250 account is going to go double or any of that. No, absolutely not. I'm telling you it can work on a $250 balance. It may not be profitable month 1, 2, 3, but the point is it can work. Somebody coming in with a little bit of money could use GearBox and start seeing success and get their belief up, which a lot of softwares out there, you just can't even do that with, especially you wouldn't even trust them with. Now, here's an account that started as a $500 account. I will tell you that this account is aggressive. This is one of our beta testers using an aggressive strategy. Now, what do you mean by aggressive? He's using the sniper strategy on 24 pairs. Okay, normally for a $500 balance, we allow 2 max pairs trading at once. On this account, I believe this tester is actually allowing 5 pairs to trade at one time. So it's scanning 24, but it is allowing 5 to enter trades in real time. And you can go ahead and see that he has doubled his account since August 3rd, which is incredible. But again, he has also experienced a higher drawdown, being he's running an aggressive strategy. Now, here's one of our testers, and just brilliant guy, has been amazing in our test group with so much feedback. And he wanted to stick to using the sniper strategy and actually only trading the 7 4X majors. So he's using the sniper strategy, but he's only trading the 7 majors. And his goal was to focus on low drawdown and great returns with a small balance. And he has done that. He's seen success doing it. And as you see, he's only had a 6% drawdown in that period as well, which is to be able to see that, and the returns that he's seen have been just incredible. And then I'm going to show you, here's an $81,000 account. Now you can see I actually believe he's increased his balance, as his gain is 13%, but his absolute 7, which means at some point here, he probably put a big deposit in. Yep, right around here. And here you can see more money has been deposited twice into this account. But again, super conservative, running the sniper strategy on all 24 pairs and having a great result. As well, we'll see this is over $100,000 right now being traded with GearBox, running the sniper strategy. And right now, this account is up 15% profit since September 4th, with only a 5.9% drawdown, scanning again all 24 pairs. So it's scanning all 24 pairs, but it's allowing 3 maximum to be traded at a time. Same with this account here. Then you see one of our customers and testers here as well has started with a smaller balance. You can see started with $714 and right now is up 21% and only had an 11% drawdown, even with such a small balance, running and scanning all 24 pairs. This is one of our testers who's running all the pairs besides the majors. He's actually running all the minors, no majors here. Actually, no, he's running all of them but GBP pairs. Let me rephrase that. He's running the majors too, no GBP pairs. He's totally eliminated GBP pairs. And I believe he's using swing settings. And as well, in a month, he did 10%, which, he did exactly what he needed to do to cover a license cost and more and see success. Here's another one of our testers out of Germany since August 5th, using the sniper strategy, is up 37% and only had a 10% drawdown. And one more beta tester account I'm going to share here as well before I get into some of my own, and then I throw it to testimonials before we get into our more advanced question answer training, is another one of our testers. They've been using the sniper strategy. This account's been running since May 17th, and you can see they are up 63% with a 15% drawdown and been doing about 10% a month. And I'm sure if we look, there's probably been times where they had it off early on. It looks like they might not have been running as much or maybe updated their lot size in September or October. But you can see they've been running and seeing success. And when I say sniper strategy, I mean the entry levels. How many currency pairs they're running is up to them. Most people are running all 24, but only allowing 3 maximum to be traded at a single time, even over their $1,000 balance. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys as well some accounts here. So let me get into some accounts. This one I actually know needs to update, and I don't think it has. So in real time, I'm going to go ahead and update this one for you guys and see if it'll do it for me. Sometimes it doesn't like to do it. If you ever get your FX book stuck, this is how you update it. So I'm going to see if it's going to go ahead and connect and update these results for us so we can see the most accurate my FX book possible on this account. It may not do it for us, but we're going to go ahead and see. And it looks like we're actually getting somewhere, but it may not be doing it. So there we go. It did it. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. This account is now up over 30%. This is a swing account. Now, when I first started it, actually for the first about month, I was actually running the lot size at a 0.01 per 3,000. My rule of thumb for GearBox tends to be a 0.01 per 1,000. After this first month, I increased the lot size to 0.01 per 1,000. And you can see most of its growth happened after that point and started having success. But this account has actually only taken 79 trades, as a profit factor of 33. And you can see on average, it's going for 60 pips. So you can see its expectancy per trade is 48 and its average trade length is 6 days. So as I mentioned, we are tending to trade with a more institutional strategy. You're looking to hold trades longer. That does tend to be how it does work. Now I'm going to show you as well a more aggressive strategy as well. I'm running on a $1,500 balance. This account is trading 6 currency pairs at any time. It is scanning all 24. So again, we scan all 24, but I only allow 6 to enter trades at any single time. But this account has gone up 45% since July 23rd. I had it off for about a month's worth of time while making some updates. And you can see it's been doing its thing and powering through. Another account is this $2,000 sniper account. This is also a more aggressive account. It's running the sniper strategy, but it is trading 6 pairs at once as well. You can see it's up 64%. I as well had this account off pretty much all of July and only on for a week of August while making updates to the software. But you can see this account has been doing incredible as well. And then I'm going to show you this 40K. This has been running the sniper strategy since inception of the sniper strategy. It has had a 5% drawdown. It is up 30% now on a live account since August 3rd. Now, I've shown you guys tons of results, explained some of the strategies. Just to break it in again, because I see somebody asked, how can we see the settings for each strategy? Can we open one pair and load a strategy, then open another pair and load a strategy? So to answer this question, I'm actually going to give you a visual display, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it up real quick. So here's the strategies explained. Let me size this to our window here. All right, so this was almost a year's worth of data on how many times each gear was entered using this strategy, running these 25 currency pairs. Now, what I've gone ahead and designed is where the entry is going to be on each of these currency pairs based on how many times it was hit in that year. So you can see if you wanted an early entry, you could do it here. If you wanted a swing entry, you could do it here. If you want a sniper, it'd be here, super sniper here for these pairs. And then some of them even more out, such as the GBP pairs and Euro AUD, which can trend a little more and tend to go a lot further. You're going to want to basically look in this level data right here is the strategies in themselves. So all each of those strategies is your gear entry settings preloaded for you based on which strategy you want to use, so that you don't have to manually go enter into each pair what gear you want to enter on. You can simply choose one of these strategies you agree with, hit select it. But again, you can fully go into the software and customize it at any time, which I'll go ahead and pull up this software account for you guys so you can see that. And let me actually go ahead and pull it over to this chart. So as you can see, here is GearBox running on an account. I'm just going to go ahead and open one of these charts. And you can see in here the different expert settings. But what's so important is the gear above settings. So I'm saying for this currency pair, only enter gears above 2. That means I'm waiting till a gear 3 entry, meaning I'm skipping trades 0, 1, and 2. I'm skipping the first 3 trades that happen, and I'm saying if a 4th trade enters behind the scenes in what's known as the ghost trades, enter that trade on my real trading account. So when we look at this account, you can see right now I'm trading 3 max currency pairs. I'm scanning all 24 of these pairs, but right now only 3 pairs have trades open in my live account. But behind the scenes, and you can see this on, I'm going to show you the display. You can see right now I have a Euro AUD gear buy 5 open. Right? You can see that Euro AUD has a gear 5 buy open. Now, would my entry settings have allowed me to enter this? Let's take a look. If we go take a peek, my settings are saying enter gears above 5. So actually, if Euro AUD goes a little bit further down, I could potentially meet my execution settings, enter this trade. But as long as I have these 3 trades open, it's not going to enter that Euro AUD trade because I'm maxed out on my pairs I allow running at once. Now, if one of these closes, it's going to immediately look at what the next highest ghost gear is open on any of the currency pairs. And it's going to either take that trade on the international version or alert of that trade on the US version, which you can approve and take the trade. So again, you can see how it trades in the ghost gears behind the scenes. And it has the display here, so you can actually see what trade is happening right now. GBP AUD as well as in a buy gear 5, right? So you can see behind the scenes, it is actually trading in the notepad And you're not going to be able to see this on your VPS, but I'll show you on an admin side what I mean by trading in the notepad so that you can have a visual. So we can see this account is 116325. So I'm going to scroll down until I see 11,06325. I have it right here. And what we can go ahead and do is we looked at Euro AUD. We saw we were in a buy gear 5. I'm going to open that file. Oops, that's that wrong one. I'm going to go ahead and open this file. I don't know why I'm not seeing it there. It might have actually just closed it. Up here we go. New file. There we go. We have a buy gear 5, level 5 open. So you can see that behind the scenes, not on my actual trading account, you can see that it is trading in the market, right? I don't have Euro AUD open on my trading account here, but you can see that in a notepad, GearBox is trading Euro AUD in what's known as the Ghost server. So it's trading behind the scenes in the Ghost server, and then you get a visual display of where it's at in the Ghost server on your actual UI here. So again, that's me getting into GearBox. I'm going to throw it to some testimonials and some amazing guest speakers we have in this call, and then we're going to get into some Q&A and more intensive training after that to answer some of your questions you may have already experienced if you've already gotten access to GearBox and set it up, or if you're brand new on this call and this still sounds like Chinese. You saw how easy it was for me to set this thing up. I set it up in under 5 minutes. You can too. And then for those of you who want to play with it and understand it deeper, you can as well, right? As it is a very customizable product. But for those people who are brand new to EA trading, I've made it as simple as possible for you to get set up and started and start seeing GearBox work for you by using the GearBox loader and just selecting your strategy. Now, I do know we have some amazing guest speakers in the call, so I want to go ahead and make sure that they actually get promoted here to panelists. So I'm going to go into the participants here, and I'm going to look for our guest speakers here, and I'm going to promote them right now. So I've gone ahead and I've allowed 2 people to come in here that were a part of our beta group. You know, they've seen phenomenal results with the product. I know one of our speakers here, Mr. Dante Lewis, he was one of the first people I knew that started seeing me play with bigger balances with GearBox. And I think he messaged me like 3 or 4 months ago and said, I'm going to put $60,000 live in GearBox next week. And we were in early beta stage still. And I said, I love it. You know, he sees what's going on. He believes in the product already. He sees the power. And I know Dante's seen some incredible results. And, you know, I just want him to come on and talk about his experience with GearBox, what he believes it's going to do for Auvoria Prime, what he believes it's going to do for his team, which I know his team has an amazing culture. They just had a great mastermind weekend I saw out in Tennessee with a bunch of their leaders. And, you know, I know that he believes GearBox is going to be one of those products that really helps excel his organization. So I'd love to have Mr. Dante Lewis come on the line and talk about his experience with GearBox and where he sees this going. Dante, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I'm here. It won't let me turn my video on, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm going to try and figure out how to make it to where you could possibly share your camera, but I do not believe that I have that power. So if there's that power, they'll let us know. But
sounds like a plan. Well, yeah, I just wanted to get on for a couple of minutes and just share my experience with GearBox. I've been a part of like the original kind of beta test group with GearBox since Tyler was first kind of going over the strategy, and the initial push for why we did this and why we're excited about it is that it's kind of like a spinoff of Alexander and Einstein. It's like Alexander and Einstein on steroids. It's like taking the things that you like the best from that software and being able to make that. He said he can do his camera now. Perfect. All right, bet. All right, awesome. So what I love about GearBox is that it just makes a lot of sense with the strategy of trading that we already were using. I get questions all the time now from customers. I've gotten questions all the time about why am I in this much drawdown? Why is the software buying when the market's going down? Why is this? Like, I get questions like that all the time from people. And one thing I know that's going to make a lot of sense with GearBox is that when it actually does enter a trade, you go look at it with your own naked eye, it makes a lot of sense. Like, you'll look at that and say, okay, wow, that was a big drop. I think that it'll make more more sense to your natural eye, which I think is great. One thing I will give as advice for GearBox is that it's going to take patience. It took me a while to kind of understand how much patience is really required with it. Sometimes I know for people, we're accustomed to turning on the software and then immediately being in trades. And that's not the narrative with GearBox anymore. So with that, I would say that anybody who's just turning your software on, you want to allow a day, maybe 2 days, sometimes 3 days to go by before it even enters a trade, but that's for your own benefit. I know that Los and Tyler and some of the other more experienced traders will tell you that sometimes the best trades are just not being in the market and not trying to force an opportunity out of thin air and really just waiting and allowing. One of my old trading mentors used to tell me all the time, like, you don't dictate and go take from the market. You watch what the market does, and then you respond from that point. So I love GearBox because it's really responding to what the market gives you, as opposed to trying to like force something out of thin air. For me, I've been using the sniper strategy on Ghost plus Real now for months. I haven't really changed much, although I will be using the swing strategy more so. But I love the sniper because it allows you to be patient and have confluence on your entries. I know that anybody here who will be trading any other accounts outside of their manual one, so outside of their GearBox account, GearBox is almost like a signal service in itself. Like once you see it enter a couple of trades, you can go and look on a manual account and kind of like see if it lines up with any other strategies and have so much confidence when you're entering a trade. And it makes a lot of sense to the naked eye. And then my final part about why I love the software is that for the last 2 years now, we've been pretty much pushing a service that cost somebody $1,300 to get involved. Because like Tyler said, the most cost averaging strategies, you need at least $1,000 in an account. So with that, and with our subscription being $267 prior, you're looking at almost $1,300 to get into the game. When in reality, we all know that 80% of people living on planet Earth don't even have $1,000 in their bank account. So what are the chances of them having $1,300 of discretionary income that we're telling them up front that, it's Forex. So there's a potential, always a chance for loss. So you're telling people that. So you're not like the room for growth as a company has now expanded so much by having a software and a resource that will allow people to get started at that $250 to $500 range, even though obviously you want more, but for at least to get them that taste. And I think that we truly allow our mission of exposing people to products that are going to allow them to be profitable in the markets so much more by bringing GearBox to the table. So definitely shout out to Tyler and to the development team behind the scenes for making it happen. It is greatly appreciated. And we're ready to take this thing to the next level.
You crushed it, Dante. And, I'm excited to see what your organization goes and does with GearBox. I've seen the culture you guys have and what you're making happen, and the results that we've seen, still blow me away. So it's going to be a very prosperous future here for us in Auvoria Prime. And thank you for coming on the call, Dante. And as well, we have an amazing builder, from the traditional network marketing space. This man's a legend in the industry, and I know he got into the trading world with us and expert advisors a short period ago as well, and started really testing these things before really putting his face out there. And I know the results he has seen with GearBox have blown him away and have got him super excited to go build a massive business here in Auvoria Prime and share this with thousands of customers around the world. But Mr. Nick Sorensen, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Tyler. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. You can take it away.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I love GearBox. When Sal first told me that, hey, months ago we started this whole, quest to search out all softwares around the whole globe with, the goal to find softwares that, A, can be profitable, B, low risk, and C, to make it simple for the everyday person to come in and have success. I was totally on board with that because, for me, I'm not a Forex trader. I'm not an expert. I've been trading software since, Alexander was first shown to me months and months ago. And I've got addicted to it because I do believe that the everyday person, with you plug in, without being an expert, without staring at charts, can come in and have success. Now, when Sal said, hey, here's our goal, and we're going to go find, look under every rock, look at every developer, look at every software we can find and seek those out to really solve that goal. I'm definitely on. And so, I volunteered for every group that we could jump on. GearBox has been an absolute blast. And, to echo what Dante said, to echo what Tyler said, is I really believe that it's answered that goal that Sal had sought out when they first looked at softwares. You saw some of those returns on those accounts, and then you look at drawdown. Like, to be able to get those type of returns and really minimize risk, minimize your open trades, like, it's a dream, right? From the standpoint of really what you're putting out there to get the returns, it's incredible. And then you guys saw the setup. what I love about the beta test groups, what I love about Tyler is that it's just total data driven. Like that, these beta test groups, it's just a bunch of data nerds that just love to crunch numbers. And it's not based on, hey, hope or hype or anything else. It's just based on numbers, right? Here's what historically it's done. If you put this in, here's what you're going to get. And it's just been so fun to be a part of that group, not only to watch and look at these brains that come up with these different settings, but then just to go through and say, hey, okay, great, this works, but let's try to stress test it here, stress test it here, stress test it here. And so what we have now, yeah, I am too. Like I'm in there and I'm crunching numbers and having fun. Matt just said, hey, I'm proud to be a nerd. Like it's been so much fun because I do believe that, you know, that goal that we sought out early on, that Sal sought out, that the whole group sought out, to go find products that can have, you know, high profitability, low risk, and make it simple for the everyday person that has no idea about Forex. If you come in and plug in, right, listen to the trainings, just plug in, you can go have success. And we've seen it with these accounts. So whether it's Sniper, whether it's Swing, I've been running Swing. When we first started out, you know, we said, hey, we believe that, you know, Swing will probably be what the masses do. And that's where I am. I am one of the masses. Like I'm not a Forex expert. I've never made a manual trade in my life. And I've actually taken pride in that because software's been so much fun. But running multiple accounts on GearBox with the different strategies, with the different currency pairs and different lot size, it's just been an absolute blast. And I think the most exciting part is that we have people that will be on this Zoom today that will grow massive accounts, having no knowledge about Forex. Just by plugging in, learning the education, you'll learn a ton. I'm still not a Forex expert. I've gotten really good at driving the software just because I plugged in. I plugged into the Zooms, plugged into the calls, plugged into our education we have, and then just listen to all these, you know, incredible numbers and data that we have. So it's fun. It's really excited for everybody to have the experience with it. Like Dante said, be patient. Not only be patient on your entries, but also be patient too. The first time on my trade tab on the MetaTrader 4 app that I had a large blue number, right? Most of the time we're in drawdown, which drawdown's a great thing. Like I love drawdown now because that's what turns into money. But I looked out there and I sent Tyler a message, said, hey, I'm in like 3% in the positive. Like, is there something wrong? He's like, no, you just haven't hit your take profits yet. And I'm just going like, okay, but I want to touch it. Like I want this to turn into profit. So you got to be patient in the setup. You also got to be patient with it closing. But the key is here, have a lot of fun and dream big. That's what this company is created for. They brought some incredible developers together to literally, you know, you guys run down your dreams and you have it in your hands. Go take advantage of it.
You know, Nick, you said one of my favorite things right there. And, you know, it's so many people are used to using expert advisors and being in drawdown. And there's all these times I refresh my MetaTrader and I just see all this blue. And, you know, so many people aren't used to seeing floating profit. And I'm looking forward to many people starting to wake up and have that same revelation of, man, I'm in 1% or 2% profit. Should I close these out? And it's like, it's up to you, right? You want to close them. But sometimes there is the patience in having the discipline to know that, hey, that you might have 1-2% floating profit, but that could turn to 3 or 4 or 5, right? I've seen a trade setup where I had 3 currency pairs open that all started to swing at once, that in one day it closed at 5%, right? So you never know what's going to happen. You know, it's taken very precise trades going for larger amounts of pips. Now, I do want to get into the next part of our call here, which is a little more intensive training, right? I believe a lot of people on here have questions. I'm seeing tons of questions in the Q&A section. So I want to take some time and help answer some of the questions that many of you have when coming into GearBox. So somebody first asked where to find those notepad files. You can't see those on your Auvoria Prime VPS. That's an admin thing. We have all those backend folders locked down. That's why you get a visual on your display, which I'll show you again, of exactly what trades are open in the Ghost server. So if you guys can see my account right here, I believe. If you can see my account, just let me know in the chat box. Let me find my chat box again. I don't know where it went on me. There we go. So as you see here, you have a display of what trades you actually have actually going on, right? You can see this one's in a sell level 0 trade, right? So you have that visual. So you can't see the notepad and actually see those, but you can have that gauge of what trade it is by just looking at your UI display and actually seeing what Ghost Gear is open behind the scenes. So you don't have access to the notepad, but you can see the trades that are actually going on. Now, I'm going to keep going into some of the questions we have here. Somebody asked this week, could we get a description of each strategy? There's going to be another video inside of the AP Academy soon, which will explain each and every strategy and show a little more into that data. So you'll all get that very soon. As well, the EA Academy, I'm going to be making videos for each and every single setting. So those of you who really want to customize your trading experience can understand that more intensively. We are going to go ahead and add all of that into AP Academy and then into the EA Academy. Somebody asked regarding the preloaded settings. Clara here asked regarding the preloaded strategies for certain balances. I'm guessing it's a bad idea to use any of the 1K presets on a smaller account, or for example, using the 250 Super Sniper on a 1K account. Actually, the difference between the strategies. So if I actually pull up the GearBox loader, let me go back over here, and when we take a look at the loader, we can see it actually loaded on all my charts. The difference between the balance displays here is actually going to be the amount of max pairs I allow trading. So on a 250, by default, it's only allowing one maximum pair to trade. On a 500, it is Sniper, so it's one entry sooner than Super Sniper. And it also allows two max pairs to trade. So on a 250 account, that would be way too much risk in my opinion. Same with 1,000 account on a 500, that could be more acceptable, but still is a more aggressive strategy. But for 250, I would really not go anything outside of the Super Sniper, based on the fact that, again, that is, really looking for a precise entry, which is going to really in turn return the least amount of drawdown, because with such a small balance, you don't have a lot of equity to get into a drawdown. Somebody asked me to explain the difference between buy gear B level 3 and a buy gear A level 3 and a sell gear A level 3. So in this example, the difference between buy gear A or gear B is going to be a different strategy altogether. They're two different strategies. Now they cannot exist at the same time. So if you have a buy gear A open and for some reason the algorithm triggered that a buy gear A should open, it will not open two sequences going the same direction at the same time. They do both exist in the algorithm, but they will never exist at the same time going the same direction. One of them has to not exist for the other one to be eligible to open. I'm reading through some more of these here. Somebody said, I put a starting lot at 0.03, but it opened operations with a 0.01. Javier, this is a known bug. It's not that it's opening it with a 0.01 after you put a 0.03. It's that initially when you set it up, it started taking ghost trades immediately with the 0.01 input. And then when that sequence happened, it went ahead and still was executing the trades based on the initial ghost trade it entered, which was your initial setting. So since it initially was loaded on with a 0.01, and then that trade sequence, a real trade hit, it opened there. We've actually already found a patch for that, and we'll be rolling it out this weekend, but it's not a dangerous thing. It's just you might enter a lot size smaller than your initial increase lot for the first trade there. The software is going to help hundreds of thousands of families. I truly believe that as well, Andreas. As trades managed. If you turn trading off on Friday, the trades cannot be managed if you have auto trading off. Again, anytime you turn off trading, the software is not managing anything. So if again, if you turn off anything, you're not going to have any management, as it can't work. You have it off. Somebody said on MT4, you can see the ghost trades on the experts button down on the terminal. That is a great point. If you did want to see the experts tab outside, you could potentially go into the experts tab and see them opening here. You will see it somewhere here. I'm just getting the millisecond timer right now. Somebody said, can I use 250 Super Sniper on a 5K account and allow more than one pair? Yes, Miha, if you were going to go ahead, Miha, and want to do that, you would just simply have to go into each and every chart here and actually change your maximum pairs you're allowing to trade at once. That's what you would have to do in that case, is just go here into your settings and change this from max pairs trading 1 to however many you wanted to trade on each pair after loading the 250 Super Sniper. Felicia said, how long does it take to get your first notification? Dante covered this as well in his session. One of the things with GearBox is patience. You are not going to take a lot of trades. It's going to actually take, if we go back and look at this MyFX book, this account's been running since August 3rd. I've taken 67 trades in 3 months. So you can see that's not a lot of notifications I've received as well. Potentially, some of these trades could have all been in the same sequence, right? Sometimes 2 to 3 trades are in one sequence in one notification. So you're potentially talking in this period from August 3rd, I've maybe actually approved 20 trades. So for those of you who are saying, how long till I get my first notification? Understand, like Dante mentioned, it's a patience game. You're not going to get a lot of notifications as it's looking for a very precise trade setup to enter. So it is very low in how many notifications you're going to get. So again, you're going to want to have some patience if you're waiting for the notification of a trade, or if you're on the international version and you think it's not working, you can simply go to your display and see if the ghost gears are increasing. If you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 on any of this display on the ghost gears, it's trading, it's working. That's all you need to see. The reason it's not entering is because it hasn't hit your execution level yet. Somebody said for a 5,000 account, when you change the number of max pairs traded or change the starting lot size? Christopher, so your question is a 2-part question for me. With increasing the balance, you can either increase the lot size to the traditional 0.01 per thousand and leave 3 max pairs trading, or you could potentially increase your max pairs trading. If you did both, that would be more of an aggressive strategy. If you did one, that'd be more of a moderate strategy, right? Or it's kind of up to you how you want to go about it. But those are the 2 ways to increase risk from the base strategies without customizing too much, would be to increase your lot or increase your max pairs trading. Now, personally, myself, I would never trade more than 6 pairs at a single given time on any account balance. And that's just, personal opinion here. Some people might find ways to do it if they have larger balances and want to run a super small lot size on each chart. Again, that's up to you. But for me, personal preference, I tend to stick to 3 on large balances. And if I'm feeling more aggressive on smaller ones, I might run 6. Somebody said, will GearBox take manual trades into consideration? If I have 2 GearBox open and 1 manual, would open a 3rd pair still? GearBox and manual trades aren't really friends. The reason I say that is it will pick up that there are trades open on the account that it does not have take profit set for itself and things like that. We have a lot of features built in GearBox to make sure it always is setting the take profits on the real trades and making sure it's constantly adjusting things. So personally, I would tell you just don't manually trade on the same account GearBox runs on. That's just one of those things you should never really trade on the same account as an EA. But if you're doing it, it won't really harm anything. It's just it will put a bunch of errors in the experts because it'll pick up on that trade. It will see it and say, hey, something's going on here. I didn't take this. Somebody said, can this be on the hourly time frame? Again, anytime you lower your time frame you are trading on, you're going to potentially increase your risk. You could potentially increase the risk that you have. So again, that's kind of up to you. Somebody here, this is a great question. Marie said, you said in your launch video we could switch the USD pairs given an election this week to Super Sniper and GearBox. I've selected Sniper and it loaded that on all 24 pairs. I cannot see how to change to one strategy to another on some pairs without deleting everything and starting again. In order, Marie, to change to Super Sniper and just those pairs, you would actually just open them up and increase your gear entry by 1. So in the example of AUD USD right now, I have, it on Sniper right now. I would just go ahead and increase this to 3 and increase this to 4, and that would be Super Sniper. So that's all you have to do on the USD pairs to change that to Super Sniper for election week if you do want to run the Super Sniper strategy through election week. What are our ghost trades to start? The ghost trades do have a setting where they automatically delete. I see Stain here asked a great question. When are the ghost trades deleted? Do they start every Monday from gear 0? That's actually a setting. That's up to you. You can delete ghost trades at the start of the week, yes or no. So for me, I prefer to delete them so that I'm getting a fresh, brand new analyzation of the week. No point in staying in a trend over the weekend that I wasn't already in the real market. If I'm not in it already, just clear it and let's reanalyze on a fresh week. So yes, that is a setting built in and it'll automatically delete them. Up to you. Somebody said, what do you think about using the strategy on metals and indices? So the specific strategies I have loaded here, I would not use on metals and indices. Those would have to be their own strategy. But do I believe in using GearBox and metals and indices? Absolutely. You just need to understand the data, right? So don't use these settings. These settings will fail on metal and indices and these strategies. Can GearBox work on them? Yes, but you're going to need to figure out what gear. Could it be a gear 10? Maybe, right? It's going to be a much higher level on pairs that move a few thousand pips at a time. So you're going to want to really study those and understand the average true range and where they have their retracements. Yes, all gearboxes are on 9969. That is correct. I think that is the questions I see in the chat. I'm going to get into the actual Q&A session here. Somebody asked if I could set up GearBox to only open trades on a positive swap. That is much more intense. It would have to be its own feature, but I can look into that. I'll put it in my notepad. Let's go through questions here. Somebody said, can you show us setting up the starting lot sizes? I changed mine today at 0.05, but first live trade it got was 0.01. I did address that. That was a bug with us implementing the API for manual trades where it sticks to whatever, like say I close this right now on, I changed the lot size right now to a 0.10, but it already had ghost trades open. For that first sequence, if that ghost trade continued, it would take the lot size at the initial starting lot. We are addressing that to where when I would hit OK here, it's actually going to delete the ghost trades and start the sequence over so that it would immediately switch to your new starting lot. That will be pushed out this weekend. So if you notice that, that is why. The solution for now is if you do increase your lot size, once you increase it, just go ahead and hit clear ghost trades or delete ghost trades. Just hit that on any pairs you increase your lot size on until we roll that patch out this weekend. What is the week-to-week management? How do you scan 25 but only run 2 to 3 pairs? Tanya, to answer your question, that's going to be your max pairs trading at the same time feature here. You can see max pairs trading at the same time is a setting. And I'll pull it up on this VPS because I think it's a little clearer than the VPS on the web browser. Max pairs trading at the same time is 3. So again, you can go ahead and choose that, those settings how you want to. Regarding the preloaded strategies, I answered that one. Are we going to shut down GearBox during the weekend and start it on Monday? GearBox, you can run through everything. If you want to close down before the weekend and you have positive trades, that is good. Somebody said, I was asked to validate, Ice here asked, I was asked to validate my license when I activated variable, but ever since I switched to GearBox, I didn't have to validate again. Is that normal? Ice, yes, that is normal. You are already validated with an active license when you did it for variable. And since it's the same MT4 instance, it's just checking to see that you still have an active license, which you do. So it has not asked you to verify again since you already did verify that specific access pass. If you put, all right, it looks like pretty much all the questions have been answered here. Somebody said those larger 40K live accounts that are trading 4 to 5 max pairs. No, none of those. All the larger live accounts I showed you are trading 3 max pairs actually. The 40K, the 100K, the 80K, they're trading 3 max. The ones that are trading 4 to 5 are actually the smaller accounts, the 250 and the 500 and some of the thousands that were shown. Some of those users are running more aggressive. For larger balances, I tend to be more conservative. On smaller balances, I might be a little more aggressive actually. But by default, the strategies are very conservative. It's up to you to increase your risk if you so want to. But from a default strategy level, the super sniper and swing strategies and the max pairs they allow trading for each balance are pretty conservative settings. It's up to you to decide your risk and what you want to do and understand that. And yes, you have to change the lot size on each individual currency pair if you want to increase it. And somebody asked, how much does GearBox cost? To get started in Auvoria Prime, you can go ahead and get with the person who got with you, and they're going to offer you all the different options that we have available to get started. But again, we have different access passes from bronze, silver, gold to platinum, depending on how many EAs you want to go ahead and get access to. But our cost per license is about $99 per month for software that you want to use, and then $20 a month for a VPS. And you'll be able to go ahead and get access to our marketplace and our softwares by simply getting in on at least a bronze pass. All right. It looks like that is everything for today. I'm just scrolling through last minute to see if there's anything else, but I believe we got it all. So for all of you on the call, thank you so much for tuning in to this amazing call, getting to learn more about GearBox, the strategies, how it works. And I look forward to seeing you guys more on my Friday calls. Every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we'll do our weekly insight call and cover all the data between the 60 gearboxes I'm running, all on different currency pairs, different strategies, and really provide the most data for you every single Friday. So again, thank you for tuning into this wonderful call. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.